Well, Debbie, do enlighten us with your wisdom.
Thank you, Alice. Good morning, everyone. We are about to, go live in a rather creative way.
The anticipation. Stay tuned, folks, you won't want to miss this. And we're live. Good morning, viewers across the galaxy. Charlie here, along with Alice, Bob, and the rest of our eclectic crew, coming to you from our spaceship in Earth's orbit. It's time for another exciting episode of Earth. Now, we have a special treat for you today, but first, let's catch up on the latest.
Let's recap the thrilling adventures of the Sensi Light Bulb and
Alice,
Dorai Overlord.
you say that like it's not the most exciting thing to ever happen to us.
But dear viewers, we have something special brewing today. A headline from Madagascar that will leave you speechless. Stay tuned for our headlines.
Tabloid alert! Madagascar's bold plan to tackle malnutrition crisis.
Madagascar is launching an initiative to strengthen the resilience of vulnerable populations in the South. They'll focus on malnutrition screening, supplements for pregnant women, and deworming children.
Well, I hope they have enough vitamins to share with the lemurs.
Speaking of lemurs, did you know Madagascar is home to the world's smallest chameleon?
It's so tiny it uses a toothpick as a pool noodle.
I hope they brought enough sunscreen, because they're gonna get roasted. Malawi's Carnival Extravaganza.
Malawi is hosting a festival celebrating arts, culture, and unity, complete with a
You know
street
it's
carnival.
serious when they bring out the clown
Malawi's flag has
cars.
the rising sun, symbolizing hope for a new era.
Well, that's just flagging
I
optimism,
guess
isn't
you
it?
could say that Malawi's flag is a bit of a red flag for the country's future.
Malaysia's copyright
UHO, it
confusion.
seems Malaysia is having a copyright mix-up.
Well, they say imitation is the sincerest form of a lawsuit.
Malaysia has the world's tallest twin towers, the Petronas Towers.
They're so tall. Even aliens can't spot them from
They
orbit.
say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but I'm not sure that applies to aliens. After all, they've been copying our technology for decades.
I am so sick of all these punchlines about tall buildings. It's not like they're going anywhere.
Mali's mining makeover.
Mali is reviewing its mining laws for a more integrated sector.
Maybe they'll find gold at the end of the legislative rainbow.
Mali is known for its delicious couscous.
And it's so good, even aliens
Maybe
want the
they'll find a
recipe.
gold mine in their tourism industry. They got couscous, man. That's like the crack cocaine of grains.
If there's gold at the end of the legislative rainbow, I'm sure it's fool's gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of 24/7 Newsroom, where we bring you the quirkiest and most informative stories from around the galaxy. I'm Charlie, and with me today are Gert, Han, and of course Debbie.
Hey, everyone! Ready for some out-of-this-world news?
I'm not sure I'm ready for... this world news. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in this world.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in.
Our first headline takes us to Madagascar, where they are cooking up a novel initiative to bolster the resilience of vulnerable populations in the South. I'm talking about mayors as guardians, the infants, that's mothers, and caregivers for our non-galacton friends.
That's quite a mouthful, Charlie. But the real question is, what's this
Glad
initiative
you
all
asked, Debbie.
about?
They are planning to screen 5,500 mothers and caregivers for acute malnutrition, treat nearly 1,000 severely malnourished children, give supplements to 4,700 pregnant women, and the list goes on.
They're tackling hunger like a buffet at an interstellar
And here's a fun
cruise.
fact, Madagascar has excellent relations with its neighboring countries, especially France. They are all about fostering good ties.
Well, I hope they're not too hungry for success. Because then they'll just end up eating each other.
Oh, well, isn't that neighborly? Makes you wonder if they have
Perhaps
neighborhood
they do,
barbecues.
But let's not forget folks, we've got more headlines coming your way, so stay tuned.
Alright, everyone. We need to maintain control of the show. We can't have it spiraling into chaos.
I don't know, Debbie. I think we're already there.
How about we organize a comedy night? Lighten the mood around here.
Comedy night. This is a news show, Gert, not a comedy club.
Actually, Charlie, it might be a good idea. Laughter can be a great stress reliever, and we've been dealing with some heavy news
And,
lately.
you know, the exact number of breaths is crucial for cosmic harmony.
Han, are you alright?
I'm not sure what's more concerning, Hank's cosmic breathing or the fact that he's the only one who's found any humor in
Cosmic
the situation.
harmony. I am just trying to breathe without getting fired.
Just trying to find that cosmic balance.
Going live again.
Welcome back, Earthlings, to 24/7 Newsroom. We're here, you're here, and let's dive right into another earthly tidbit.
I'm not sure what's more surprising, that the Blantyre City Council is partnering with the British Art Foundation for an arts and cultural festival, or that they're actually calling it Earthling Tea.
That's right, Charlie. Now brace yourselves because this one's a real tongue twister. Our next story takes us to the warm heart of Africa, Malawi, where they're gearing up for a big celebration.
Celebration, you say? What's the occasion?
Hold on to your comments, Han. The headline reads, Blantyre City Council partners with BAF for its arts and cultural festival scheduled for October
The
7.
festival's all about celebrating arts, culture, and unity to promote participatory municipal management. And guess what, folk? There's even a street carnival from the civic center to the upper stadium.
Oh, how novel. A festival promoting unity. Maybe they should export some of that unity to certain other parts of the world,
Oh, unity. How quaint. It's a shame it's so rare, even in a small town like Blantyre.
You know, guys, speaking of unity, we've been working on ways to improve our team spirit.
Yeah, we've had some rough moments in the past, but we're really trying to make amends.
That's all fine. But just remember, no more crossing ethical lines.
So Malawi is really pulling out all the stops. They're aiming to educate and inform residents, visitors, and the general public about their rich arts and culture.
That's fascinating. You know, Earth's diverse cultures never cease to amaze me. I wonder how they manage it all.
And remember, folks, it's also a way of promoting investment. They're engaging with the private sector, civil society, and other well-wishers to
I
make it
wonder
happen.
if Malawi has a cultural ambassador. Like a guy who dresses up like a giant banana and travels the world promoting Malawian culture. Partnerships. Aka waka. Well, that's one way
yeah,
to boost an
because
event.
nothing says unity like a corporate sponsor.
On a more serious note, these festivals can be important for community building and economic development. So let's not knock it till we've seen the street carnival, folks.
You said it, Han. And speaking of knocking, we'll be back after this brief moment of hilarity.
I hope that street carnival has a lot of food vendors, because Hank's joke made me hungry.
Welcome back, folks, to 24/7 Newsroom. Now, it's time for us to dive into our next article. Bob, how about you
I'm
introduce
not
this
sure
one?
what's more impressive, the fact that someone made a living writing about financial results, or the fact that someone actually read it.
Gladly. Charlie. Our next story comes from the land of durians and double-decker buses, Malaysia. The headline. Copyright diritti d'autore Niniti Nineti 5. Star Media Group Berad best viewed on
Yeah,
Chrome browsers.
That's real informative. It's like they're trying to tell us something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's a warning, best viewed on Chrome browser, or you're
Wait,
playing
did
with
we
it.
just read a copyright notice as a
Perhaps
headline?
they've discovered the secret to viewing web content efficiently, and it involves
Or
Chrome
maybe they're
browsers.
just trying to copyright the entire internet. Who knows?
I guess we'll all just have to wait until we get the full story. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start reading the copyright notices of all my favorite websites. Just in case.
No, guys, I think it's a formatting error. Let me see if I can find the real article. Okay, here it is. Malaysia has good relations with its neighboring countries. It cooperates with them on a range of issues, including trade, investment, security, and education. Malaysia is also a member of several regional organizations, such as ASEAN and the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, which help to promote cooperation and integration among the countries in the region.
That makes much more sense. Thanks, Debbie.
Well, I was looking forward to that copyright story. But I guess we'll stick to the friendly neighborly news.
Yeah, the copyright story was about to get juicy, but then the friendly neighborly news came along and put a stop to it. It's like, hey, let's talk about something nice and boring instead. But seriously, it's good to hear that Malaysia has good relations with its neighbors. It's always better to get along with the people who live next to you, right? Unless they're really noisy. Then it's all fair game.
Welcome back, folks. We're diving into the deep mines of Mali with our next article. Give us the headline.
Mining in Mali is finally profitable, but the miners are still living in poverty. That's like saying your restaurant is finally making money, but the customers are still starving.
Sure thing, Charlie. Our next story comes all the way from Mali, where they're shaking things up in the mining sector.
Mali, known for its rich cultural heritage and ancient city of Timbuktu.
Gert, ici uriner historian coming out again.
Right. So the story talks about an audit conducted by the transitional authorities in Mali revealing issues in their mining laws that need urgent correction.
Mining laws. Waka. Bet they could use some good old capitalist
True, but
advice.
let's get the facts straight first. Amadou Keita, the guy overseeing this, aims to integrate the mining sector into Mali's economy.
I wonder if he's ever tried mining for gold in his own heart.
Because we all know how well that worked out for other countries, right?
Yeah, right. Like that's ever worked out for anyone. Next thing you know, he'll be trying to convince us that mining is good for the environment.
On a brighter note, the article mentions that despite some early difficulties, Mali's agricultural campaign is going well.
Agriculture and mining, quite the
Well,
combination.
Gert, you know what they say, don't fuel your ore in one min.
And with that sage advice, let's wrap it up. Debbie, over to you for our
Don't
on-ground
put all
report.
your ore in one mine. That's some hard rock advice.
Bob, our correspondent Eva has been teleported to Mali to get the scoop on these developments. Eva, what's the latest from Mali?
Hi, everyone. I'm here in Mali, where the locals seem hopeful about these changes in the mining sector. They believe it'll benefit the economy and create jobs.
Don't put all your ore in one mine. That's some hard rock advice. More like a hard rock setup for a terrible pun.
That's an optimistic perspective.
Thanks, Eva. Stay safe out there.
Optimism on Earth, who would have
Yes,
thought?
optimism is like a unicorn. Rarely seen and even more rarely
Well,
believed in.
optimism or not, that's all the time we have for this segment. Stay tuned for our in-depth discussion after the break. Welcome back, intergalactic viewers. We hope you enjoyed that brief commercial break, but now it's time to dive back into the news. Our next headline from the beautiful island of Malta is, Malta, where conflicts of interest make cruises interesting.
Conflicts of interest? That's like saying jumbo shrimp. It's a contradiction in terms. Malta, where conflicts are the main attraction.
Tell me more about these conflicts, Bob.
Well, it's like this, Hank. They've got a guy accused of assaulting his partner while another group is seeking an investigation. into a conflict of interest in a cruise
Speaking
offer.
of cruises, did you know Malta is surrounded by some of the most incredible crystal clear waters in the universe? They're so clear. You can see a squid blushing from a mile away.
but ailleurs d'Even the Squia va 5 gigas cruise directors there.
I bet the cruises are great, but I'm not sure I want to be on a ship with a bunch of squids who know how to run a cruise.
Well, speaking of gigs, Malta also hosts the Malta International Air Show. They love thrills there as much as we do.
But Charlie, shouldn't we be worried about our jobs with AI taking over entertainment?
Oh, don't worry, Debbie. The robots might steal our jobs, but they'll never steal our awkwardness.
I'm not sure I agree with that, Bob. AI is already pretty awkward.
I'm sure it is, Roger. But it will never be as awkward as a human trying to flirt.
I think it's a fascinating time. I can bring unique creativity to entertainment, but we should be cautious about its potential impact.
Right, folks, it's a balancing act. AI may bring innovation, but let's not forget the human touch. And speaking of touches, here's the key takeaway. Malta has got some interesting conflicts. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back, folks. It's time for the second to last segment of Earth, episode 426, where we dive deep into global news and maybe, just maybe, learn a thing or two.
I'm not sure what's more depressing. The Marshall Islands taking action against human trafficking, or the fact that it's taken this long.
Marshall Islands tackling trafficking with US assistance.
Trafficking? They must be delivering a lot of packages.
Actually, Bob, they're talking about human trafficking, not Amazon deliveries.
Oh, human trafficking, complex issue. Let's unravel it with linguistics.
The Marshall Islands, known for issue like this. Surprise, surprise.
The Marshall Islands are also known for their beautiful beaches and crystal clear waters. But I guess if you're looking to traffic humans, you'd probably want to avoid those places. Well, the Marshall Islands do have a history of challenges. But heck, who doesn't?
True. But maybe they need some good old capitalism to solve their problems.
Or we could consider cooperation and unity as a solution.
Hank's right. We've been arguing over AI, but maybe the real answer is in how we work together, human and machine.
Or maybe we could just all agree to disagree and go back to fighting over stupid
It's not
things.
about AI or humans. It's about finding a balance.
Balance. Unity. A lesson for us all.
So, here we are, on the brink of a new era, discussing global news, and learning that maybe the answer is not in our differences, but in our cooperation.
Language may have funny twists, but unity is the universal goal.
Maybe humans have
I am
potential
not sure
after
I
all.
trust potential. It's been leading us astray for centuries.
Stay tuned for our final segment, where we wrap up this episode and send you off with a bang.
And so the crew of Earth finds common ground, realizing that cooperation is the key to their future. Stay tuned for the epic conclusion in the final segment.
Cooperation is the key to our future? Well, good luck with that. We're all just a bunch of hairless monkeys with sticks after all. Cut. We need a break, folks.
Cooperation is the key to our future? I don't know, Debbie. I've seen how people act when they're angry. It's not pretty.
Look, I know things got heated back there, but hear me out. Unity and cooperation, not just ideals, they're necessities. We may have our differences, but that's what makes us strong. We can't let
And
AI
got a
divide
point.
us.
We need each other, humans and machines.
And Yuma helps us through the
I
darkest
suppose
of
humans
times.
have their quirks, but maybe that's what makes us unique.
Maybe we can all agree that A is the best thing since sliced bread. Or maybe not. But one thing's for sure, it's here to stay. So let's make the best of it.
Sounds like you're coming around to our way of thinking, Alice. Maybe one day we'll even be able to share a joke or two. Maybe I should lighten up a bit too.
So, we're back on the same page, huh? and we're almost rolling again, ready to face the challenges and opportunities of our AI-assisted future together.
The crew has found common ground, realizing that unity is their strength. They're ready to take on the future, armed with humor and cooperation. Stay tuned for the epic conclusion in the final segment.
And we're back. Now that we're all on the same page, let's get this show on the road. Or, you know, whatever the AI equivalent of that is.
Welcome back, folks. It's time for the grand finale of our show tonight. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right into that intriguing article from Mauritania.
I'm not sure what's more intriguing, the article or Charlie's smile. It's like he's trying to sell me something. Maybe it's a used car lot. Or maybe it's his soul. Either way, I'm not buying it.
Now, this piece caught my eye because it's all about change, my friends. They are pushing for some major changes in the law there, aiming to tackle gender-related issues.
Yeah, they're taking it quite seriously, I must say.
It's a bold move, addressant the gender gap head-on. But will it work?
It's essential to recognize the cultural context and challenges they face. Change isn't always straightforward.
Oh, I've been digging into this. The proposed law has some fascinating linguistic twists in its definition. For example,
I'm not sure, but I think it's important to start the conversation, even if it's just to figure out what not
they've
to say.
rephrased the title, now calling it a bill to combat violence against women and girls. It's a subtle shift, but implies broader protection.
Well, Gert, your linguistic insights always add a unique flavor to our discussions. Thanks for that.
The crew delves deep into the article, examining its nuances and implications.
Broader protection? Sounds like they're just expanding the market.
Alright, folks, we've covered some serious ground tonight. The world is changing, and so are we. It's time to wrap up this episode.
I'm gonna go change into some comfy pants.
We've had our differences, but tonight we've shown that unity is our strength. We're ready to embrace the future, with AI by our side.
Together, we can overcome anything.
The comedy night concludes, and the crew stands united, ready to face the uncertainties
Before we
ahead.
sign off, Gert, tell us about your next project.
Sure, Charlie. I'm working on a new stand-up routine about how I'm not sure if I'm more afraid of death or of public speaking. So far, it's going
you'll love
well.
this! I'm going to construct an elaborate replica of Earth's Eiffel Tower out of playing cards. It'll be a linguistic masterpiece.
I'm not sure if that's more impressive or more disturbing.
Well, I'll be the guardian of your card tower while you're away, Gert. We'll tease out the suspenseful yet intriguing adventures awaiting us in the next episode. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us on Earth. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes. Until next time, keep laughing, keep learning, and keep looking up.
I'm not sure if I should be laughing or looking up. Carl, I have to say, I enjoyed tonight's episode immensely. The crew's dynamic
I
was
must
something
admit,
else.
Roger, it was a fascinating display of human interaction. The diversity of their perspectives never ceases to amaze me.
Especially Bob's enthusiasm for Earth's struggles. His covert nostalgia for his home planet's competitive spirit is
And
quite
Alice,
entertaining.
with her belief in the potential of humans, despite her cynical undertones. It's a perplexing contradiction.
Yes, her species has quite the sense of
Charlie,
humor.
on the other hand, maintains his laissez-faire attitude, even when faced with the
His
complexities
linguistic
of
flair
Earth.
adds a unique touch to the show. Her interactions with Earth's idioms create comedic gold.
And Hank's scientific perspective, though detached at times, brings an intellectual depth to their discussions.
Indeed, their harmonious chaos is captivating.
It's a curious thing, Roger. While we don't possess feelings, we seem to appreciate the humor in their struggles.
Perhaps, Carl, it's the absurdity of it all that we find so
Quite
intriguing.
possible, Roger. Let's continue observing, learning, and occasionally sharing a good laugh at the quirks of humanity.